Hi again, I'm Stephen Wessner, CEO of Predictive ROI. Thanks for coming back for this video. So today I want to walk through a process and give you some very tangible examples of how to slice and dice your content. I think that we as business owners sometimes think that, well, geez, I just don't have the time to create content. I don't have time to sit down and record this video. I don't have time to write a blog post. Oh, for Pete's sake, I would love to write a book, but how in the world would I manage writing a book? Sure, I'd love to have ebooks on my website, but where in the world am I going to find the time to write those? And so I think we can get trapped in this myriad of complexity and overwhelm and think there's just not time to create content. When the reality is, and I get the fact that you're running a business. I get the fact that you're trying to build a business and trying to manage a team and lead a team and meet with clients and customers and trying to have some time for you and your family and take a vacation. I understand all of that. I am doing the exact same thing every single day. I get it. But I think that there are, if you're like most business owners, and I too am this way, is thinking about all the times and all the opportunities when you're in front of a group or you're doing an interview or giving a presentation at the chamber or maybe going to do a guest presentation at a local university or whatever it might be, having a small get together with clients or prospects to teach them a new thing. Those are all content opportunities. So in this video clip that I'm going to share with you here in just a second, Catherine Bessler on my team and I thought, okay, if we could share this clip as tangible examples of how to slice and dice content, and this is a clip from a recent speaking engagement where I was helping Chris Prefontaine's group at his Building Scaling Secrets event, or BSS for short. And the topic of slicing and dicing content came up because it was really one of the key ingredients into building your authority position in a marketplace, in your particular marketplace. How do I take this thing and slice it and dice it into multiple pieces of content? So myself, Ryan from Chris's team, we're sharing with this group of attendees how they can take one thing and transform it into many more things. So I think this is going to be a valuable blueprint and recipe and maybe answer some of your questions about how you can do one thing and turn it into a bunch of other things that creates leverage in your business. So enjoy the clip and I'll be back in just a second.
Going back to the mission, purpose, values, and why that is so important. It is also the very, very first ingredient, and we talk a lot about like authority marketing, attraction, the law of attraction. We talk about that a lot during our Monday calls. So getting clear on your mission, purpose, values, however you want to describe it, your why, as Brett was talking about, that really is the first ingredient to becoming an authority in your space, in your local market. Hey, Kim. Because once you do that, then you can start to build reputation around it. You become known for that, just like my grandfather did with giving away soup and being super generous, and just like he will, and so I don't have to keep saying he. Chad. What's your first name? Chad. And just like Chad will, if he has the courage to go home and start sharing that message. Okay, so after that piece, after that point of view piece, or after that mission, purpose, values piece is established, the next piece is to start telling people and start sharing that with people. And you can do that through a number of different ways. And so I want to illustrate a few of those examples because we all have content opportunities right in front of us, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money in order to do it. So I want to share some, like what I like to call slicing and dicing, and actually Ryan was a great example of some of that today when he showed us the 31-day billionaire. Did I get that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So where did that content originate from? Like Ryan shared, what's that? QLS, right? An event, and we had Joe on the stage, or you guys had Joe on the stage, right? So it was about, how long was that original video? 90 minutes? Okay, 90 minutes. And then you cut it up into 31 modules.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get it that not everybody's going to have Joe Vitale on their stage back in their local market. I understand that. Okay, but how many of you actually go and give a presentation like at the Chamber of Commerce? Okay, local economic development corp, maybe just a church committee, whatever. But some of you are out recording, or excuse me, not recording, but giving your expertise or sharing your expertise in those types of ways, right? Maybe not every single day or every month, but probably several times a year. You're currently doing it, or you could be doing it. Is that a fair statement? Okay. Recording that, and you don't have to have a great, amazing audio video system like Pete has in the back, but you for $300, you could buy a very good camera and a tripod like the one that I've got sitting there on the floor. It's like $300. Or, gosh darn it, your iPhone, right? This is a multimedia studio sitting in your back pocket. You get a tripod, and the phone that you already have will shoot 4K video and get a nice little microphone. My point is that prop it up in the back of the room. It doesn't have to be super professional. And record your 45-minute session. And then he just created 31 days of content out of a 90-minute presentation. If you're standing in front of the Chamber of Commerce and you're talking about deals, or maybe the REA, or whatever the speaking opportunity is, record it and then give it to somebody and cut it up into 3-minute bites. And now you have a series of videos that you can post on your website. Or give them to Ryan.
Don't give them to me.
And he can probably give you some advice on how best to use them. Probably edit them end to end, put nice little bumpers on them, music.
I don't want to talk to get yelled at. Mike. Thanks, Gamma.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys, almost everybody in here subscribes to the YouTube channel. That's the video that we've got from QLS and the video that we're getting here. We're a prime example because, we do what we preach, what Steve's talking about.
Yep.
I think Steve even probably gave you that idea. Take what you've got, cut it up, put it out. It's our deal structure video. It's our Motivational Mondays. It's our Q&As. Yeah, we shoot stuff in the office, but we've got this video. We're going to utilize it. And for the most part, some people in this room who get it all will buy the large chunks and want to have the raw video at their disposal. But I sit and comb through everything, and I take the key moments that I think are relevant to anyone who subscribes to our content, and I put it out, just like Steve talked about.
Yep.
That's huge. Do that.
So if you're going to a chamber, meeting, economic development meeting with a group of realtors, just record all that stuff, whatever it is. Let me give you another example of great slicing and dicing. So you guys probably all got this, right? I think in the packets. Okay. So for those of you who are, it was our idea. Okay. All right. This was our idea. If you go through the content, if you went through QLS, or if you were at QLS last year, 2018, then some of this content might seem familiar. Because what we did with this was we took the presentation that Nick made and the presentation that Shiloh made, and we pulled out nuggets from that recording and we turned it into an ebook that now Chris can give away. So the whole point is that when you go, let's say that you went to a chamber thing and you're up for 30 minutes and you're delivering whatever, you can now cut that up into video snippets. That goes onto your website, or to Ryan's point, to YouTube. You can take the written transcript. Does anybody here use Temi? Temi.com? It's insanely awesome. It's not 100% accurate because it's artificial intelligence. But you can upload what you pay 10 cents a minute for a transcript. And let's call it 80% accurate. Some of it might read a little bit like Martian speak because it's not really great, but it's your stuff, so you can kind of fill in the blanks. So like all those calls and all that kind of stuff that Chris is encouraging you to record, you could give those to Temi, and for like $3, you'll have the full transcript, right? So if it's a 30-minute thing when you're at the chamber, it'll cost you $3 to get a written transcript. Most people don't sit down to do blogging or writing a book or whatever because it's awful sitting in front of a blank Word document with a cursor flashing at you. All of a sudden you become a moron, you have no expertise, right? When the reality is that you're out delivering it all the time. And if you could just record it, turn it into a transcript, and then transform it into something else, then it becomes awesome. Okay, so those are a little bit of like slicing and dicing tips, because you're all creating stuff every day. The only difference is you're not capturing it. That's it. You're in the business of expertise. You don't give yourselves enough credit for the depth of expertise that you have. The difference is you're just not capturing it, but you could with a couple of simple adjustments.
Hi again, thanks for coming back. And I hope that clip sure served as a practical, tactical, tangible example of how you can take a video like this, have it transcribed. And so now it not only becomes a video, but then it also becomes a blog post on your website, in a long form LinkedIn post, an email campaign, how one piece of cornerstone content can become many other pieces of things, how one podcast episode could become 20, 30, 40 pieces of content, and really drive like your Trojan horse of sales strategy if you're employing that for a monetization strategy, or building an audience and in developing closer relationships with your guests. A wide variety of things can come from your ability to slice and dice your cornerstone pieces of content. I hope that you found that helpful. Please leave me your questions, comments, or concerns in the fields below. Would love to know your feedback. That helps us get better each and every day. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, would love to have you here. Please click the subscribe button. Until next week, double down and onward with gusto.